What do the commitment phobe and the commitment addict have in common? Well, let's jump in. Hello, I'm Francesca, vibrational love match strategist and multidimensional matchmaker. And today I am going to share my perspective on the commitment phobe versus the commitment addict and the solution. So I know that by saying that, they seem like complete opposites, but I have spent a lot of time with clients and looking at this and looking at it in my own life and with friends, etc., and doing tons of research behind this. And the conclusion is that really they are two sides of the same coin. They're just two different reactions to the fear of abandonment. And I'm sure that you've probably heard about different attachment styles and the 4 different types, and maybe you've taken a quiz to see and all that, or people have said, oh, my attachment style is X, etc. And all of those are basically based on the same premise, the fear of abandonment at its core. And most humans, pretty much everybody, has some fear of abandonment, and it may range from 1% to super strong, like 99%. And what's interesting is that, psychology, etc., says that this starts in childhood, which is where the attachment style comes from, because it's, depending what happened with your parents, etc., your formative years, all those things. And I agree with that. And there are also 2 other layers that can affect that as well. And the first layer after childhood is something from a previous incarnation that you have brought into this incarnation. And the second one is that feeling disconnected from your spiritual family. So in a previous video, I discussed, the journey of the soul, and you have your spiritual family, they're around you, and then you come down here. And so what can happen with that is, as you start to get more grounded in earth after your birth, and anywhere between 2 to 4, we start to, we'll say, forget, and become a little more disconnected from our spiritual family on the other side. And so depending on the degree with which you feel that, which your childhood experiences can either enforce that or not, that can also be a factor in that fear of abandonment. And what's interesting is, I know it seems counterintuitive that the commitment addict would have a fear of abandonment, but truly at its core, that's what it is. And I'm sure you know those people, right? They're in a relationship, and with the relationship ends, and within a week, they're in another relationship. And what's interesting is what I have found in the pattern with a lot of commitment addicts is that when they start to sense that a relationship is nearing its end, or when they're starting to check out of the relationship and they know it's going to end, they go on the hunt. And what I mean by that is, they then start looking for that backup, so that there's this, in their mind, seamless transition from one relationship into the next. And they never really take a break to be alone, to perhaps look at some of their patterns as to why the relationship ended, what they really want out of partnership, so on and so forth, so many things. And I don't know, I just find all this so fascinating and so juicy. So what's the solution? Well, the good news is you are the solution. You can easily start to do things to help shift that fear of abandonment, or some people call it like the abandonment wound or the core wound. And the solution is connection. Now, this is where it can be, I don't want to say tricky, but you have to be super mindful about this. It's not necessarily connection with other people. This is where I think things then start to go sideways, and then people don't shift, heal, or transform. At the end of the day, it's not so much the connection with other people. That's the bonus. It's really the connection to yourself, that beautiful light that you are. It's going inward, connecting in with that divine aspect of yourself. And so, how do you get there? So glad you asked. All right. So, just take a deep breath in, crank up that courage dial. You got this. The easiest formula, and the one that I use with my clients, and obviously that I've used on myself first before using on clients, is to first recognize and be aware of your own light. And you can do that in many different ways. Some people perceive like an inner waterfall of light. Some people connect to like the star. They see themselves as a star, this bright light, whatever feels appropriate, or just seeing your super self, your higher self, your wise self, that aspect of you that is eternal. Just one of those three, whatever feels appropriate to you, and just feel into the light and just observe it. Is the color rich, or is it a little more superficial? Is it a bright white light? Does it have gold sparkles, pink sparkles? Like whatever you perceive is perfect. Just whatever makes you have that hit of, yeah, there it is. Perfect. So that is step one. Then step two is to retrieve responsibility for connection from everybody. And then part of that, and you want to make this step three, is you fire everybody from having any responsibility for connection. It's yours. It's a need of yours. It's a need of every human on this planet. And so since it is yours, it's yours to cultivate. You get to amplify it to the degree that you choose. And when you are no longer attached to anybody meeting that need in the outer world, it's like you are completely empowered. You are in complete control. What has happened is that humans have given that need away to the people that we care about. And it's logical. I get it. We've all done it. Your parents, your siblings, your best friends, your lovers, everybody. But it's never going to be fulfilling because nobody can meet that need. They have to meet that need for themselves, and you meet your own need for connection. And the beautiful piece, the magic around that is that the more and the deeper you meet your own need for connection, the more connection you get back. It becomes then a draw, and people want to connect with you more. So it's this beautiful thing. And it's like, if you've ever been on an airplane and they're talking to you about, the oxygen mask, drops down, you put yours on first before you help anybody else. That's exactly what it is. You meet your need first, right? And this is in a very self-full way. And just think of how empowering that is. That means anytime you start to feel disconnected, or you're waiting on connection from somebody else, use it as awareness, be like, oh, wait a minute. And then take that responsibility back. And then just connect in with yourself, with that light. If you just want to then say, an extra little step you can say is, amplify the vibration of connection, or amplify connection, right? Almost like that cartoon Super Friends, when they're like, Wonder Twin powers activate, right? Amplify connection. So like I said, the beauty of this is you have the power to start shifting that for yourself, to feel more connected, more every single day, every single hour, whatever serves your highest good and greatest happiness. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, share with your friends, and remember, connecting with yourself is empowering, and you get to control it to the degree that you choose. So stay empowered, my friends. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.